free agency is still going wild, and it's amazing to me the amount of quality names that are still on the market and unsigned. And I was hoping we were going to get to this last week, but Cam Newton was recently signed between our last episode and this one.
Yep.
And
I want to vouch for you because we talked about it before last week. So I am in support of the fact that the deal he signed is basically exactly what you thought would have been the deal. Yeah. So I know we don't have proof of that beforehand, but as your partner in this and as your witness, I will vouch for the fact that you knew what the design was going to be before it came to be.
Yeah, I mean, I on the one hand, it's like it went as expected. The only thing that they haven't released any of the details in terms of what these incentives are, which I'm really interested to see. And those are the things too that I always wonder, like how a team is going to play these players with these heavily incentive-laden contracts, where it's like, if you as the team know that, okay, well, this person is going to make X amount of dollars if they do this, well, then should I wait until after this point and then we can, let's say it's like, oh, he needs, if he starts 10 games, he'll get a certain number of things, right? So what if, let's say Belichick decides to start the season with Jarrett Stidham, okay? Yeah. Well, does that mean that he's going to give him 6 or 7 weeks and then Cam Newton's only going to start 9 weeks, and so he doesn't hit that 10-week mark to where they don't have to pay him the incentive thing? But then it's like, okay, but if what's his face gets hurt in week 3, then you're beyond that, and then now you just have to pay him anyway. Yeah. So I always wonder, like, is it so much about the football, or how much is it about the money? Because on the money side of things, it's like, here you are, you're giving the guy the league minimum, veteran minimum, which is like $1.7 million as a base salary. This guy went from a $25 million base salary last year to 1.7.
Yeah, it's a huge slap in the face to Cam Newton. Yeah. I'm surprised he accepted it, to be honest. But
he made like over 120 million already in the league, which, I mean, he's got plenty of money at home, but I mean, there's backup quarterbacks on other teams that are making more money than him, like way more. I was reading something that I think it's the Chicago Bears backup quarterback that's making, like, if Cam Newton and Jameis Winston both hit 100% of their incentives that are built into their contracts, would not even surpass the total that the backup quarterback for the Chicago Bears is going to earn this year with 0 incentives.
Yeah, that's fascinating considering that the starting quarterback, I don't personally think is better than either of those,
exactly,
Newton or Winston. I mean, maybe a little bit better at not throwing interceptions than Winston, but I still think overall, if you were holding a gun to my head, I would probably pick Winston over Trubisky.
Yeah, no doubt.
As my starting quarterback. So
for sure.
So the fact that these are two guys that are better than the starting quarterback on that team are getting paid less than his backup, that's alarming.
Well, the other interesting part about the Cam Newton saga is this. It's like, okay, Jameis Winston basically is not welcome in Tampa any longer and signs a very similar 1-year vet minimum contract to sign on with the Saints. And at the time he did this, it looks like a good thing for Jameis Winston because here he is. You got your career is almost going on a downward trajectory with the amount of interceptions you've had and whatnot. And people really think that this will be beneficial for him to just sit behind Drew Brees for a year, really learn as an apprentice, because as a former number 1 overall pick coming to the Bucs at the time that he did, it's like you're coming to a bad team. A lot of these former number 1 overall picks, they go to a terrible team and they're thrown into a situation where they have to be this savior right off the bat, and they never really get to sit back and learn.
It's what I'm starting to call the traditional Alex Smith series.
Right. Situation. Yeah. I mean, Baker Mayfield's going up against it right now. Yeah. I mean, there's been countless number of, basically insert first round draft pick quarterback name here has probably gone through it. you know. And my point about the Jameis Winston stuff, it's like this might really work out for him. I mean, if Drew Brees retires in a couple years, maybe he's the future of the Saints, or anyway he pops somewhere else and he's learned a big bag of tricks and how to be a pro from Drew Brees, from Sean Payton, from a lot of other guys, right?
And he's got a lot of years left. He's still very young.
Yeah, but the thing about Cam Newton is that here you got another number 1 overall draft pick, former MVP, played in his Super Bowl, and he just got signed for the exact same contract as Jameis Winston. Now, there's a few more incentives there, and I think it's also because he's probably going to be the day 1 starter rather than Jameis Winston is known to be the backup throughout the year.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit different there. That's why there's a little bit heavier incentive there. But it's like, okay, so you just signed somebody who you intend to probably start as your quarterback, and you just got him for a steal. It's like I would have thought that the base salary just would have been a little bit higher. You can still build in the incentives, but my point is that Cam Newton's contract, even if it's incentive laden, should be equivalent to at least somebody. I know the average. So when they do this franchise tag, it's the average of the top 5 salaries of that position of the year.
Yeah.
So like Dak Prescott, the franchise tag is worth $31 million.
Yeah.
Because I think there's quarterbacks upwards to 40 right now on a year.
Yeah.
And then how the way it averages out. But like for example, Phillip Rivers is getting 25 mil 1 year in Indy. So my point with that is it's like, so you telling me that Cam Newton's not worth 25 mil? Maybe structure it so his base salary plus every incentive could equal a total of 25 mil, which is equal to, a respectable known starter in the league.
And isn't it designed where we just know that with the incentives and everything, it's like just under 8. The most you can make is just under 8 million, right?
Yeah, it's about 7, 8, 7, 9
crazy,
mil.
Dude.
Right.